Hey, Love is Blind watchers and lovers. Welcome back to my channel. I've actually gotten my hands on a copy of a wonderful interview that Pop Sugar did with Love is Blind season 5 star Renee Poche. And guys, I gotta say, it still leaves a whole lot of mystery for me. So a lot of us have been talking about how unfortunate it's been missing out on this beautiful firecracker. So she was engaged to a man named Carter, but Love is Blind completely cut out their storyline from the season, although we saw a lot of them in the background of many scenes where you wonder, what the heck are they doing here? For example, the honeymoons that took place in episodes 3 and 4, we saw Renee, we saw Carter there, and there was never any explanation for why that is. Then we saw them at other couples events. We also saw them when it was time to go wedding dress shopping. They tried to pass it off as if Renee was there to support Lydia, even though Renee was dressed in white all the way on the other side of the room with her own mom next to her. It was a whole mess. So luckily, Renee sat down with Pop Sugar to explain some of the mess that had been going down, including some rumors going around claiming that the reason why she was cut from this season of the show was because she was hiding a boyfriend, and that's how she got married so quickly after filming. Ooh, let's get into some of the stuff that was revealed, shall we? So Love is Blind told her, Renee, we know that Love is Blind doesn't always follow all the engagements up until the altar. But it seems strange that you were filmed up until that point, but the love story wasn't shown in the series. Do you have any insight into what might have happened? And this is where Renee responds. She says, listen, I was just as shocked as everybody else. I got a call a couple months before the show aired in August to let me know that our story wasn't going to be a big focus. What I was told was, we'll just point blank say that Carter was awful, and we don't want you to have to relive that. That's just not going to be a big focus. They also said timing was an issue, so they decided to cut our story. That's what I was told. So there you have it, you guys. Apparently, the reason why they cut off Renee's storyline was because Carter was so awful that they didn't want Renee to have to relive it. Listen, I hope y'all don't think I am naive enough to fall for this. I just can't imagine it being true. Love is Blind has shown a lot of truly, truly awful people. For example, Matt in season 3, I think it is, or was it 4? I can't remember. I think it's 3. And like other people as well, Shayna, Shane. There have been a lot of terrible people on the show. Bartiz, and that's what makes for such interesting watching. Everybody loves to have a villain. They love to hate people. Shake, holy crap, you know? So do I really believe that that is a reason why they cut out Renee and Carter's storyline? Absolutely not. But I do believe that that is something that they told Renee. I don't know. Like, she's been posting certain memes and whatnot, joking about how she wonders where Carter was on January 6th. Which was obviously the insurrection, where a bunch of hardcore mega folks went and stormed the Capitol. So I wonder if it had to do with his political beliefs or like protecting his political beliefs or something like that. I don't know. There have been rumors out there saying that Carter threatened to end his life if they aired him in the season, and that was the reason why. So perhaps that's what was going on behind the scenes, and Renee was not made aware of it until later. Not sure, but that's just what I've heard. Okay. And now she did reveal about like the whole husband thing. So Renee is married, and it sounds crazy to us, right? Because we're watching the season play out and her be single, but you guys have to remember that these things are filmed way in advance. So just because she's married now doesn't mean she was necessarily cheating the whole time and just doing this for attention. I have a hard time believing that that is the case, because guess what? There's no proof. And I don't know. I get the vibe that someone put that rumor out there to take the heat off themselves and a lot of, other things that they might have done. Right now, Pop Sugar reiterated the question, which was, so you didn't know what was going to be shown before you saw it yourself? Renee says, I did ask for clarification because I was so confused at first. My question was, wait, the wedding's not going to be shown. And she was like, no, no wedding. She is obviously Renee's producer. So I kept asking more, and she was like, I think it's going to be more like you guys are friends from the pods. It was very vague, and I still thought that possibly we were going to be engaged on the show and then kind of cut down from there. And so then they start talking about how odd it is that she and Carter are edited as if they're just friends. And it is true, because guess what? Renee is wearing the engagement ring on her ring finger in all the episodes. This is what I meant in my recap of episode 9 when I said that episode 9 completely destroyed the entire season for me. It was just seeing her and him in the background and just like being like, what the heck is going on with these people? Why don't we hear from them? Right. And then the lengths that they went to cut Carter, like them lying about Renee being there to support Lydia and whatnot, even though she was on the far other side of the room with her own mom, with her own white dress. Like that was ridiculous enough. But then like when it came to the men's side, they went so far out of their way to cut Carter that they never showed any like full wide angle shots. Everything was cut down so narrow, and it was really like, it felt stuffy, claustrophobic-y to watch. You know what I mean? So I was so incredibly turned off by that. But anyway, I'm getting besides the point. So let's get into the next question that they chose to ask Renee, shall we? So at this point, we get into the marriage. Was she already in a serious relationship heading into this experience? Renee explained. So Pop Sugar asked, we now know from your social media that you're married. Congratulations, by the way. So people have been wondering whether your current relationship contributed to that editing decision. Were you in a relationship before or during the time you were on the show? Renee responds with, I was never in a relationship. During casting, I was single, and we didn't film for about 8 months after, and I was single that whole time. I think that rumor came from people seeing that I got married later on. So they were like, it just has to be that this was during the same time. But nope, I was single. And I think even Carter would say there were other issues maybe, but definitely not that. And so they talk about how people forget how much earlier these shows are filmed. And so Renee's like, yeah, we move on and we have relationships after we film. Come on, everybody. And really, though, even if that was a part of it all, I think Netflix would have kept it in. I think they would be curious and want to know the story if that were the case. Listen, Renee's not the first person to quickly get engaged after shooting the show. Do you guys remember Shayna from season 2? Not long after shooting the show, she wound up engaged to that guy, the Greek guy that she'd been dating. Then she got married. Now they're pregnant. Like, it moves in rapid succession pretty much. Even Jessica she got into a relationship shortly thereafter, and then she got engaged and married and pregnant. Listen, these people are not 20, 21 typically, right? Like they're in their 30s. So relationships do tend to move faster at this age. So to me, it's normal that in 2 years she would meet someone, get engaged, and get married. So yeah, like, I don't know. I don't get the huge deal about it, to be honest with you guys. And so she talks about her husband a little bit. She says that he doesn't want to be part of any kind of media. He doesn't even want anybody to know his name, but he is someone that she has known for a while. They matched on a dating app years ago. Then they met, went on a couple of dates, but it didn't really turn into much more than that. But it wasn't until months after filming that they went on more dates. And so they finished filming in June, but she didn't start going out with her husband until September, October. So what's the difference between June and September, October? Let's count on my fingers. July, 1 month. July to August, 2 months. August to September, 3 months. And obviously there's 1 month between September and October. So it's been 3 to 4 months between the end of filming when she went on another date with her husband. So it was someone that, like, the vibes weren't there the first time, but the second time the sparks happened to be there. I kind of wonder if you felt a little competitive with the fact that she was on a show or something. She probably was like teasing it or whatever. And he was like, wow, she might be this huge star or whatever. You know what I mean? And then he wanted to lock her down or something, or he realized, wow, someone else might find her. I want to lock it down or whatever. So whatever, that's basically it. So now, Renee, she explains a little bit about the other romantic connections that she had inside the pods, because, of course, these people are dating multiple people at the same time. And so you typically can be bound to fall for multiple other people. So Renee says that she only had a few connections, right? So Carter was obviously her strongest connection. Like, they clicked with their sense of humor and everything like that. The reveal was super awkward. but everything turned out well. So she doesn't really delve into who her other matches were, but there were other people who were kind of interesting to her. But Carter kind of blew them out of the water, which is really interesting to me though, because I'm like, how do you go from that to wondering if this guy is like a hardcore, like mega guy or whatever? You know what I mean? I feel like you would be able to suss that out typically after talking to someone like hours straight for weeks on end or whatever. And then she talks about her friendship with the people in, well, the girlies. And she says, yeah, she's friends with like all the girls. They've got a group chat. They hang out all the time and everything. And that was the best part of filming the show for her. So voila. Now, if you are curious, by the way, you guys, about Renee's opinion on the Uche Lydia situation, and I'm happy that they asked her this, because this is definitely a huge bone of contention for the season, right? And Renee has been quite outspoken about it on social media. She's been really dragging Uche. She's been dragging JP. So they decided to ask her about it. And she says, I think the only people that will know what happened there are them. But she's never told me that. So honestly, I have no idea how that happened. I don't think production knew any of it or planned that for drama or anything. It was a surprise to us for sure. It could have been a coincidence, really. Everybody knows everybody in Houston. So there you go, you guys. A little bit of tea there from Renee. Listen, I'm really sad that we missed out on her, because in the first few episodes 1 and 2 in the pods, they really focused on her. We got to see a bunch of her beautiful, wonderful, quirky, open, like, you know, fun personality. And she was actually the one who stuck out to me the most. I was like, yeah, she's going to get engaged. Like, they're featuring her. I can't wait to like learn all about her. And so it was really sad to see her kind of disappear, like into the abyss, like into the background of a bunch of scenes, like for no reason, without any kind of formal explanation. I really want them to talk about this at the reunion. Mind you, that reunion is going to be live on Netflix on Sunday, by the way. So Pop Sugar asked her if there's any other things she'd like to clear up, but she says that she's going to explain everything in due time. Okay, she gets asked the same things all the time, like she knows what people want to know from her, and so she will explain it all in due time. This gives me the impression that she's going to reveal it all after the reunion, which I totally understand. She said she was head over heels for Carter when she got engaged. They were intending to get married. She was sure they were going to get married, and then everything unfolded, and it was just not at all what she expected. And guys, I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to learning more about what she means by that. So definitely make sure to follow her on her social media pages so that we'll be up to date when all of that gets spilled. Listen, Renee, if I can give you advice on how to spill your tea, I say go ahead, launch yourself a YouTube channel, and then put this tea out there, and then continue uploading to YouTube in whatever niche you choose. But I digress. Guys, let me know what you think about all the tea that Renee spilled in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.